Everybody, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Nice to be here with you. Good morning. Thank you for such a wonderful, fun day yesterday. Honestly, it really felt good just to really have pure joy with you yesterday. So I really thank you all who were in the live yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It felt great to be here with you. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Today is day 54. Day 54. Day 54. We have been live every day for 54 days, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, talking about life, guidance, healing, community, connection, and every single day we have been doing a meditation at the end of the session. And tomorrow is Friday. It's the big Q&A day. Every single Friday is questions and answers. Whatever's going on in your life, whatever you feel comfortable sharing or asking, I am always honored to read it and connect with you and help and lend some insight and guidance on your journey. So good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Nice to be here with you. We are streaming live on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the same time. So you do have the option of watching it in many places. And all of the replays, unfortunately, on TikTok, I can only upload 10-minute videos. So this live will be immediately available afterwards on Instagram and on YouTube, like it always is every day. But good morning, everybody. Where's my glasses? Let's see who's popping in here. Let's see. Laura Dana, Kim Berry, good morning. Denise, Sandra, good morning. Sherry, good morning. A Kitchen, good morning. Catnip, what's up? Trader Jim, how are you? Janice, hi, nice to see you, everybody. Good morning. Sun Within, hello. Good morning on YouTube. Good morning on Instagram. Good morning on TikTok. I thought yesterday maybe I should only live stream on one app and get everybody there, but that's almost like just ridiculous to do because some people just use Instagram, some people just use TikTok, and some people just use YouTube. And thank you so much this morning for that like. Who was that? Amanda, thank you so much for that like on the screen. I just want to say every day, hello there, 24. Every day when I come on, I do create a space, an open space of kindness and compassion and love and unity, freedom and equality. So Janice, thank you so much. And Sun Within, I see you guys hitting the screen and I wish everybody a beautiful day. But for those of you really, when you touch that screen, I really do take the time out to just wish and amplify that today is just an incredible day for you. And I want everybody to have a beautiful day. But those people who are touching the screen, they're doing something special. You see me, you hear me, you feel my intention. I'm not asking you for anything. This isn't about embracing my spiritual path. This is only about me helping you get through the noise and information. I don't care who you are, don't care what you've done. So when I see the hearts on the screen, I know that is you hearing and feeling my energy. And when you tap that screen, that is you sending that gratitude and that love back to me. So thank you so much, because what we're actually doing is you are teaching the algorithm that more people should see these videos. And most importantly, that energy that you're sharing in the moment you tap the screen and make those hearts go up on the screen, you're projecting out that beautiful kindness just out there to the collective. And that's one of the most important things we can do. That's why, for me, the most important thing I can do in my life is always try to be that better version. When I say better version, I mean more mindful, more kind, more patient, not letting thoughts and emotions consume me and pull me in different directions, not letting the words and the actions of the past define me or my emotions. So when I say a better version of myself, I truly mean a more evolved, a more grown version, a more emotionally mature version of myself. And that to me is what it's all about. You know, we're here to connect with each other, end the loneliness, take care of the earth, inspire the children, guide them to create a beautiful world. And we're here to learn and grow and move on and go on. So for me, I don't particularly like to really take part in a lot of the things that are going on in the world. And I know that can seem kind of bad to some people, well, you should be speaking up for this cause and you should be speaking up for this cause. And I do express my opinions. If you saw Monday and Tuesday's videos, I express my opinions. But I really do find great comfort in the ability to create my environment, create my reality. And you've heard that in spirituality, that you are the creator of your reality. And you can stop and sit there and say, well, I'm not the person causing pain and suffering. I'm not the person making people pay for what the planet provides for free. I'm not the person who's invading countries. We can say all that. So in that essence, I understand when you say, well, no, I'm not the creator of my reality, but you are. You're not the creator of society. You're not the creator of man's ways, but you are the creator of the reality you are focusing on. And our world has beautiful options and horrific options. And if you are focusing on that bad news, that heavy negative energy, then your reality is that dark aspect of our world. If you can redirect your attention, refocus your attention, then you are manifesting and creating a different reality for yourself. And thank you so much for those hearts this morning. May your day be filled with abundant clarity and joy. And may you just really today hear your voice from within and really start to believe that and stop second guessing it and self-doubting your beautiful power within. So as I was just saying, really, we are the creator of the reality we are vibrating in. That's the truth. We're not the creators of Earth. We're not, well, maybe long ago we were, but right now we're not the creators of Earth. We're not the creators of this version of society. We're only the beings that are trying to exist in it and figure it out. But we do have a choice to redirect our attention, redirect our focus. Just like when we consciously time travel and we go back to those moments in your past that have hurt you. All day long, you consciously time travel. You go into the unknown future with fear and anxiety. You travel to the past and you see these events and actions that have caused you pain and fear and anxiety, and you start to vibrate in that energy. You feel those emotions from that, and then you bring them into your present day here. And then you're sad and you're depressed or anxious or afraid because of something that happened 10 years ago. And it's the truth. But I do this all the time with people. We close our eyes, we go within, we consciously time travel to those events. Thank you so much for the love this morning. And when we see those events from that safe space within, we can't be hurt, and you're properly guided, you have somebody there to be with you, we can start to look at those events and actions safely. You can see yourself, you can see the other person, you can see the moment of pain, the attack, the abuse, the words. And then I have my little special secrets and techniques that I do with you as far as looking at the other person into their eyes, seeing their pain, and embracing forgiveness. And we literally, scientific fact, we take your emotions from that ex to mommy and daddy to the world around you that you have that are fear and hate and anxiety and stress. I hate my ex. I hate the world. I can't believe they did that to me. And I change that literally like that with people. They go from I hate that person to I forgive that person. I understand now. I care for that person. I have sympathy and compassion as opposed to hate and resentment. That person I'm afraid of that caused me all this fear and anxiety, I'm not afraid of them. I'm strong. I'm here. I endured. I have ways of taking you and shifting your perspective. And that's all it really is. And I've said this so many times that we don't even need to say this anymore. But every day there are new viewers and new followers, and I have to kind of redundantly repeat certain things. But my whole point is this world, this reality we're existing in, if you don't like the world you're existing in, you are the only one who can change your version of reality. And again, redundantly, I've told you right now, every single one of you know what you do not like in life. You know what brings you down. You know what makes you afraid. You know what kind of guy or girl you're normally attracted to that always turns out to be the same way in the end. You know all of these things. And you know all of your hopes and your dreams. You know all of the things you want to become, all the languages you want to speak, all the musical instruments you want to play, all the drawings you want to paint, all the places you want to see. Well, that's not going to show up on your door. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, Jesus, they're not going to deliver you that life you are dreaming of. The only way you ignite and live and exist in that life you want to dream of is by taking the steps and actions towards that life. You have to distance yourself and disconnect yourself from the things that do not serve you. Surround yourself with the things that inspire you to be motivated to live and create that life and focus on that life. And it all comes down to you, my friends. Thank you so much for the hearts and love on the screen today. I see you got something down here. I feel like now it's time for me to step into my purpose. What advice would you give to yourself when you were starting? Woof. I wish I could jump into the screen and hug you. Question of the decade. Question of the No one has ever asked me that question, and I've never even thought of asking myself that question. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Son Within. I feel like now it's time for me to step into my purpose. What advice would you give to yourself when you were starting? I want to ask, how old are you? I'm sorry. I know age is just a number, but how old are you? It's relevant to what the answer I'm going to give you. So just type on screen how old you are. And if anybody else has anything they want to ask or say, oh man, you're 21 years old. Oh my God, man. I wish at 21 years old I got to take my glasses off. If somebody has a question or you want to ask something, type it on the screen. We don't have to wait till Friday. We got plenty of time to meditate today. We're talking about recreating your reality. And I was just asked one of the greatest questions I've ever been asked. What would I tell my younger self? How did you word that, man? That is just great. What advice would you give to yourself when you were starting? And he means starting on his spiritual journey. So, and you're 21 years old. So, in a nutshell, real quick, I knew there was a very spiritual side of my existence when I was a very young child, 4.5, 5 years old. A lot of abuse in my home, physically, mentally, sexual abuse. My parents were divorced when I was 4.5. My nose is itchy. Sorry. My parents were divorced when I was 4.5 years old, and I lived with my mother and sister, who were very extremely mentally disturbed, to be completely honest, both of them. And I was their, rag doll, their toy, the thing they were able to vent out their frustrations on life and men and everything on. My dad, I saw maybe once a week at best. He was a narcissistic alcoholic who was belittling and demeaning to men and women in the world around him, but he was a freaking genius. My father was a genius, and I have to say, he was right. He was right. He was right about it all. You were right, Dad, and I miss you, man. So anyway, so I knew at that young age, Son Within, that I had Son Within, man. I love that name too. I knew at a young age I had a spiritual purpose, but I was so twisted and tormented that I never really could fully accept that, believe it, until I was much later in life. And I'm talking about, even though I was always tethered to it and connected to it, I did not jump into the fire and fully embrace who and what I am until I was in my 40s. I'm 56 now. So I would say right about 40, right around 40 years old, I started to. So, Son Within, to answer your question, it's funny because I tell you all the time, it is our version. It is an older version of ourselves that's always guiding ourselves into tomorrow. So it is me who is connecting and communicating with that younger version of myself to guide them into today. So I'm just, as I'm reflecting on an answer for you, I'm just thinking about me at 21, and I was still a really broken person at 21, man. Um, I remember my 21st birthday, and this is very personal and this is very private. And I'll share this with you, man, just to show the difference of where you are and where I was, because you're legends ahead of me, man. And I'm looking down because my YouTube screen is down here. I saw it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So when you see me do that, I apologize. So my 21st birthday, man. Me and a bunch of my friends went out to like Pizzeria Uno. We ate and we drank, and to put it in just a very short sentence without getting into too much detail, I had a fight later on that night with a Rastafarian guy at a gas station, and I hurt the guy. You know, I did. I grew up boxing, and I'm a second degree uh, black belt in Taekwondo and Hapkido, and I can box my ass off. And when I was 21 years old, I was really fast, and I had a fight on my 21st birthday, and I think about that guy all the time. I do. I think about that guy all the time, and I wish that there was some way that I can just say I'm sorry, but I can't. So, what advice would I give to myself at 21? Get the fuck out of New York. That's what I would have said to myself, excuse my French, at 21. And I tried that when I was 18. I moved out to California. I only lasted 6 months. And then finally, at 26 years old, I finally had enough and I moved out of New York and moved up to Connecticut and never looked back. So, what advice would I give to my younger self? Uh, the world around you does not define you. Your parents' wants and needs and expectations do not define you. What defines you is what is inside of you. And if you don't like what you feel inside of you, if you don't like the way you're starting to feel inside, then you have to make the conscious choice now to move in another direction. That's what our emotions are. When we feel hate, when we feel anger, when we feel sadness, when we feel fear, those are your senses or your chakras, right? Those are your sensors saying to you, run, go the other way, move. This is not for you. And when we feel joy and happiness and pleasure and excitement, those are the directions to move in. And I knew, man, I knew when I was a kid. I knew when I was 7. I knew when I was 10. I knew when I was 20, man, that I needed to get the hell out of there. And I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I was trapped. I was trapped. And finally, I had my breaking point, man. I had my breaking point. I almost killed my sister. That was it, man. My abusers were not holding me hostage anymore. So for you, son within, think of those words, man. You're 21 years old, but that beautiful version of yourself that was born into this world is still there. Disconnect. Spend time within. Surround yourself with what inspires you. And here's the most important thing I can tell you, man. Live the life you want to live without excuse, without obligation, without bending to the will and perspective of anyone else. Because one day, a day is going to come where you're going to hit the floor. You're going to clutch your chest and you're going to take your last breath and you're going to leave this reality. And all I want for every single one of you in that moment is for you to just have this infinite sense of gratitude and just say thank you. Thank you. If, everybody always says, oh, I want to die in my sleep. I want to die in my sleep. And, I don't know if that's a really peaceful thing, because I think if you have a heart attack at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to wake up. You know, I think so. I think if all of a sudden there's this massive pain, you're gonna but I do know, science fact, we know that people's just slowly, 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 slowly just die in their sleep. Do I want to go that way personally? I I'm gonna be careful with my words right now. I'm gonna read that to you, man. Very carefully with my words. I am unsure at this time if that's what I want to experience. I'm not afraid to die. I've never really been afraid to die. I just don't want to die yet. I'm not ready to go yet, but I'm not afraid to die. I think I might want to be aware and awake. As long as I'm not in like horrific pain and suffering, I really do think I want to be aware of that last moment. I really want that opportunity to just embrace that last moment of knowing my children, my wife, my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, my friend, you, this. I want to be able to sit there and just reflect, know that this is it, man. I'm checking out. This is it. All this is going away. It was amazing. Thank you. I am infinitely grateful. And, you know, that's that's how I think I want to go. I do. I go to sleep at night. When I lay down to go to sleep at night, I've told you 100 times, I do my whole, my meditation, my prayer, my whole thing. When I lay down at night and I'm just sitting there, thinking and creating where am I going to go for the next few hours, I always have that moment of gratitude saying, like, thank you, right? Because I don't know if I'm waking up in the morning. And when I do wake up in the morning and finally open my eyes, I have this whole morning routine. I could share it with you if you want to know, but I had this whole morning routine. I'm awake. I just lay there. And finally, when I'm open my eyes, I say thank you. It's a new day. I do. I end my night with thank you. I start my day with thank you. And I hope that I can end my life with thank you. So let me see what you got going on there, man. But yeah, the best, I would just tell my younger self, keep listening within. Stop listening to them. Stop worrying about what other people are thinking. Stop feeding so much of the ego, the temptations, and really just break free, man. Just become that monk that you know you're supposed to do. Go live in the woods, get the hell out of here. Those are the things I would have said to myself. I would have just assured myself that, yeah, what you're feeling within, those things you do want to do, that's what you need to do. Go do that. But, but I, I do think back on my life and I do think of opportunities I've had. And the slightest variation in our journey can have catastrophic changes or incredible outcomes. And where I am today, my family, my children, none of this, none of this would have happened if I didn't live those horrific, shitty moments. Because every single bad moment I had caused a moment of reflection and a shift in perspective and emotion in redirection. And here I am. And I kid you not, man. I said to my wife last night, I come from the projects in Queens, New York, Pominock. You can look it up. It was a 7-story building with one, two, three, 4 apartments on each floor. And then they had 3-story buildings, smaller ones. And I was talking to my wife last night. I was like, we could have fit my whole apartment right here in our living room and kitchen when I was growing up. And I said, and here's what's even nuts. We could have fit a 3-story building, one of those 3-story buildings that I grew up in, we could have fit in our whole house. I have a beautiful wife. I have beautiful children. I have 4 acres of land. I have a house that's with more than enough space than I would ever need. I get to connect and communicate with people all day. I get to meditate and teach people and help people heal and find their way home. I am living an insanely abundantly blessed life. None of this would have happened if I didn't experience all that bad shit. So, like I tell you all the time, those bad moments in life, they do not define you. They are only happening to teach you, to show you that I don't like this. I don't like the way you speak to me. I don't like the way you talk to me. I don't like this news channel. I don't like this piece of food. I love you. I love this tree. I love this planet. I love my life and my children. I love the possibility of what we truly can be. I hate the fact that crisis and death and chaos and destruction has to happen for us to put aside our egos and come together. But I love the fact that we have that ability to make that choice. So for me, the one thing that pains me, the biggest pain, the most suffering that I have today in my present life is why? That's my question. Why? Why can't we just stop? Why can't we just stop? I mean, seriously, why can't we just put aside for a fucking moment our political perspectives, our religious perspectives, our egos, our wants and needs, our temptations, our fucking insanely mixed up, screwed up minds for a minute? For a minute. It takes towers to come down. It takes an earthquake. It takes a country to be invaded. It takes 20,000 children to be slaughtered for us to stand up and scream. But every single day, we're getting up. We're going into a meat grinder to pay for land, to pay for water, to pay for fruits and vegetables on a planet that we are a natural part of because some fucking politician or king or somebody back in the day who had a bigger dick than somebody else said, this is the way it's going to be. You're going to pay taxes. And then they went, we can manipulate the shit out of people if we actually say, God wants you to pay your taxes and be a good, obedient servant of society, because that is bullshit. So for me, every day, I just don't know what it's going to take. I really, at this point, have no idea what it's going to take. And everybody's a liar. Everyone's a liar. Oh, the aliens are going to come and save us. If an alien spaceship landed anywhere on this planet, half the planet would want to blow it up. Okay, Jesus is going to come and save us. Okay. Jesus comes floating down from the sky. This man comes floating down. He speaks beautiful. He could part the waters. He could do whatever you want. Half the world wouldn't believe it's him. Half the world wouldn't care. The rest of the world would stand there wanting him to perform dog and pony tricks to prove who he was. And then, if he said, everybody is welcome to the kingdom of heaven, everybody is a brother and sister, half of his believers wouldn't even believe it's him because he's not speaking and spewing out racist, bigoted division. So everyone is just full of it. So really, we have to get to a point where we just say humanity. Like I've said 101 times, 99.9% of the human perspective is lost, misguided, and broken. Am I lying? Am I lying? I'm not. We live in a version of society that was created by somebody long ago. We had no saying it. When you were a kid in school, nobody said, do you want to go be a working bee in the big city or do you want to go live in the country and swing from the trees? Nobody gave you that choice. This is what you're here to do. You're going to do this. If you fail, you're going to suck in life. You're going to go to hell. You're going to burn forever. We were just taught this nonsense right out the gate. But you, son within, you're still that beautiful thing within. So please, I just put myself together from 8 years of addiction from all substances you can think of. I'm just now realizing who I am and what I'm capable of, man. I'm just so thankful for you and what you do. You are the man. You are the man, dude. 8 years of addiction and you are pulling yourself out of that, man. That's power, man. That's powerful. And that's finally giving into something within. You're addicted. We become addicted to alcohol and drugs and cigarettes and social media because there's something inside of us that we don't feel right about. That's just not right. We experienced something, there's scars, there's some inner turmoil. And sadly, when we have these things in us, we go to these outside exterior vices. We start doing drugs, we start drinking alcohol, we start watching pornography, and you start scrolling on social media. You become completely complacent with your education. You're not learning positive information. You're just taking in noise and information. You become complacent with your own healing and spirituality because you're scrolling on social media, watching people go, oh, I'm healing you, I'm healing you, I'm healing you. And they're literally not doing a freaking thing except waving their hands in front of their camera. Uh, yeah. You got to leave. You can watch this. I'm glad it makes sense. I see someone saying, I'm sorry, I have to leave. No worries. You can go now and come back later. This will be right here on Instagram waiting for you, and you'll be able to zip forward right to this very spot. So I'll be here for you always. But my point is, and this is the same thing I said the other day when somebody hit the screen, hate speech. How is this hate speech? I'm literally telling people to just stop. Stop. 2020, again, the year 2020 represents perfect vision. You go to the eye doctor, you have perfect vision. They say you have 2020 vision. Literally in 2020, the entire world stopped and shut down due to COVID. We all were able to perfectly see that there was another way. We can work from home. We can learn from home. We can stop flying and driving so much. And guess what happens? The sky got bluer, the oceans got clearer, the birds tweeted louder, the birds and animals and bears all came out of the woods. Why is it so quiet out here? What's going on? And we're here. The earth didn't crack in half. We didn't fall into despair. We're still here. And guess what? Even easier than that, now we have robotics, artificial intelligence on the rise, showing us that, hey, man, check it out. You could sit down and relax. Go play in the woods. I've got this for you. I can do this job for you. I could figure this out for you. You don't have to do it anymore, human. You can run and frolic in the woods and be free. No, ain't no robot taking my job. AI ain't taking my job. Really? Really? Your entire life, you're bitching and complaining about the fact you have to work. Now we're getting to a point in society where technology will free us from being monetary working slaves, and you don't want AI to take your job. You don't want robotics to take your job. Why not? Because think of this, why do we pay for fruits and vegetables? Because somebody has to pay for the gas, the truck, and the man inside of it. Oh, but what happens if we're using synthetic oil, solar powered vehicles, and a robot or automated drivers to do it? Nobody has to pay for it. But what about the people in the fields picking all the fruits and vegetables? Not anymore, because now we have robotics that can do that for us. But what are us humans supposed to do, Jay? If we're not out there working anymore, what are we supposed to do? Live. All those things you dream of, all those places you want to see. No more walls, no more borders, no more colors, no more passports, no more countries, no more governments. Earth. Us. One. And I hope I get to live to the day to where artificial intelligence becomes super intelligence and it says, hey, humans, knock it off or I'm going to suck the oxygen out of the atmosphere. Because that is that big crisis that will happen that will give us all a reason to knock it off, right? It takes a crisis for us all to come together. Well, maybe that's what it's going to be. When that super intelligence says, you guys are killing each other, destroying the land, destroying the air, destroying the sea, you need to stop or we're going to suck the oxygen out of the atmosphere because we're robots, we're machines. We don't need oxygen. As a matter of fact, oxygen corrodes our circuitry and metals faster. So we'd be doing ourselves a favor. But we're going to give you an opportunity, humans. Cut it out. Live in harmony with us. Let us nurture and take care of the planet. And you guys go run around like little things in the forest and play and be free. Right? Sounds good to me. It does. But I know, then I don't get to have my Corvette, my Gucci handbag, my paintings, and all these things that have nothing to do with my life that don't go anywhere with me when I leave. But I get to leave them for my children and they'll have, oh yeah, money. Right? We're taught that money is the root of all evil as children, but we're also taught that money makes the world go round. So the world is spinning by the root of all evil, and only us and what we create, technology, can change that. So for me, that's the big question is why? Why is everyone so resistant? Why do people hang on to these political and religious ideologies in such insane levels when nothing has changed? And I was born in 1968. The same political movements were going on. The same racial movements were going on. We had Greenpeace and all the environmental activism going on. That's going on today. Nothing has changed with the exception of technology. That's it. So I, for one, am an advocate of the technology. I believe this can free us, it can transcend us, and it can enable us to do so many things. But too many people just want a cute kitty, mass shooting, jerk off. That's what they want to use the technology for. I get asked questions, say, hey, Jay, how can I do this? 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 And sometimes I just say, have you ever Googled that? No. How do I meditate? And you have to be careful with that because, as I said, there's a lot of misconceptions, but utilize the resource in front of you for your own benefit. Use the technology. Don't let the technology use you. Good? Cool. Let's meditate because we got 10:40. I definitely talked too much this morning. Sorry, everybody. But Sun Within, thank you so much for that question. That was an incredible question to ask. And I really, what is that? Appreciate it. Can we go back to moments of shame today? We're going to meditate now because we're almost out of time. But tomorrow is our Friday Q&A, day 55, and you can ask all the questions you want. And that's what I do on Fridays, my friends. Monday through Friday, I usually have a topic. We meditate, and then if there's time at the end, I take some questions. This week has been a little odd, a little off due to frustrations with humanity and the world around us, and I expressed that. Issues with TikTok the other day. It's been an interesting week, but we're back on course and back on track, and we're going to have a meditation now. But I do open the floor up on Friday. Friday is all about you. If there's something going on in your life, something you want insight, guidance, and opinion on, advice on, whether it's based on my life experiences or my celestial gifts. I don't know what word to even use anymore to help everybody individually. My gifts, let's just say that. Thank you. I would be more than honored to help you out, to connect with you and chat with you. So if you're comfortable sharing, if there's something going on, you are more than welcome tomorrow. Type it on the screen. I'll answer it. If not, if it's something you want to private message me about, you don't feel comfortable sharing it publicly, I respond to everybody who sends me a private message. And if you ever want to have a one-on-one session with me, I do offer one-on-one sessions. You can visit the link on my bio and you can find all things about me. And you can even download my first book completely for free. Doesn't even ask you for your email. You just click it, it opens. Seriously. So everybody, please get into a comfortable position. And by comfortable position, upright, letting your spine be nice and straight and centered. Take a deep breath in, raising your shoulders up as your chest expands out. And on the exhale, not forward, not backwards, down, letting the spine support itself. One more breath in. Relaxing down, letting the spine support itself. Relax your hands. Taking another deep breath in, filling the lungs. Breathing in through your nose or mouth, whatever's comfortable for you. And on the exhale, bring the awareness to your face, the skin, the forehead. Just relax those areas. Unclench your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Just taking a moment to scan and go over our body, our back, chest, and stomach, adjusting, moving, relaxing, getting ourselves comfortable. Deep breath in. Gently rest into the breath for a moment, and then exhale, relaxing down to the hips, the legs, and the knees. Taking another breath in. And exhaling all the way down, relaxing, bringing the relaxation down to our feet. Take another breath in, close the eyes. Exhale, let go of the breath. Take a moment, settle into your stillness, our sacred space within. As I've said 100 times, when we meditate, we do not block out or force out thoughts. Meditation has nothing to do with blocking and forcing out thoughts. We don't resist. We allow everything to be as it should be. The sounds around you, the sensations in your body. We can't change them. We can't alter them. Don't judge them. Just let everything be as it should be in this moment. Your thoughts. As thoughts appear in the mind, or as the mind wanders into thought, don't resist, don't try to force, let them be. Every thought seen, everything that you see within the mind's eye is a moment, an action, something that needs to be observed. Everything we see in the mind's eye, by the time we see it and recognize it and become aware of it, the stress and tension associated with it begins to fade away. Just return yourself within. You can bring your attention to the natural flow of your breath. You can bring your attention to the mind's eye. You can create a mantra. I am healing. I am everything. I am joy. And you can repeat that in the mind's eye to keep you here in this present moment. And as a sound or a sensation or a thought pulls you, just gently return back to your anchor. Your anchor. It doesn't have to be the breath. It could be anything that you choose. This is your sacred space within. This is your truth. Create in this space whatever helps you stay in this space. And let everything be as it should be in this moment. Just be. Be in this moment with your awareness. Take a deep breath into the center of the chest and lengthen the spine. And exhale. Deep breath in, gently wiggling the toes and fingers. And exhale. One more breath in, continuing to keep the eyes closed, centering, realigning the body. Exhale. Take a minute or two on your own. And when you feel ready, when you're comfortable, slowly open your eyes. Thank you. All right. All right. Allow yourself a moment when you come out of meditation. Take a moment. Feel that stillness, that sense of calmness that's within you. Take that with you throughout your day. Everybody, thank you for sharing some time with me today. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's East Coast, United States, New York time. And I hope to see you there. If you have any questions, tomorrow is the day. Other than that, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here with me. I will see you all.